On today's ChurchTechCast Q&A show, looping video, stage display, and Instagram video. Hi everyone, and welcome again to the ChurchTechCast Q&A show. My name is Paul Allen Clifford. I'm your host, and this is the show where every week I help you by answering church tech questions. I don't know all the answers in the world. I'm not saying anything like that. I have some experience, and if I know the answer, I'm happy to share it with you. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below this video if you're watching on YouTube or on TrinityDigitalMedia.com, or you can head over to TrinityDigitalMedia.com/contact, leave your questions there. If you're more of an email person, Paul@TrinityDigitalMedia.com, or hit me up on Twitter, Paul Allen Cliff, PaulAlanclif. So let's just hop right into the questions, shall we? Legacy Youth Ministry asked on one of my YouTube videos. See, I told you could ask right under the video. Says, I'm having some problems. I understand what you're saying, but I set the timer on my Foreground video and they still loop on themselves. Please help. Okay, so he's talking to the auto-advancing video tutorial that I put in earlier. I haven't heard back from him, but this is the gist of the response that I gave him. Make sure that you are setting that video to stop. Not loop, not palindrome, stop. The video has 3 possible settings, and the default one is usually loop. So that's what I suspect is the problem. You said that it was a foreground video, so that's not the problem at all. But tell me if that's not the problem, and then we'll attack it more. But I think that that's at least the first place that I would start is doing that. Now, even with the timer off, what I would expect would happen is it would play and then it would stop. If it loops even with the timer there, we've got something else wrong. So I would need to know what version of ProPresenter, make sure it's working running on a Mac, because that's my area of expertise, and then we'll go from there. Charles Bledsoe on Twitter asked me, Paul, our stage display is blue using ProPresenter. We're using PC and it has worked great until recently. Any help? That sounds to me like you've got a problem with the connection. So the very first thing that I would do is I would check all your connections and make sure they're tight. You might think, I know everything's plugged in. Just humor me on this. I used to work tech support, and 99 out of 100 times when someone would say, oh, I'm not getting a signal, it was a loose connection or one where someone else had unplugged it and not told them. So check that. Check power for each piece of the chain, because if there's a distribution amplifier in the middle and that power brick has gone bad, that could cause it absolutely. That's the first step. Second step is I would do what I call short leashing it. So I would take the monitor or some known good output and connect that with a short cable directly to the output. See if it works. If it does, if it's the same output and it works, then the problem is the cable, probably. If it works, but it's a different output, you've got a computer monitor versus a projector, could be the cable, could be the projector. You just need to figure out which that is. If it still doesn't work, it could also be the USB VGA adapter, if that's what you're using, or if you're using some other adapter, it could be that that's the problem. So those are the things that I would check first. If you have duplicates of any of the pieces, it's worth swapping out, even if the duplicate isn't as good, just to see if it works. Because what we want to do is we want to see where is the cause of the problem and address it. Again, as I say, it's most likely cabling, a loose connection, a bent pin, a cable that's got an intermittent short. Any of those are possibilities. Secondly, it could be power somewhere along the chain, or it could be a bad piece somewhere along the chain. So we just need to learn which it is and attack that. Next, Brent Dumler, probably Doomler, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Brent, asked me on Twitter, so that's why I don't know how to pronounce his name, because it was on Twitter. He asked me, Sunday promo videos on Instagram, effective or not? I wrote him back and I said, well, it depends. Do you have a link to one of them so I could take a look at it? And he hadn't actually started it, so let me tell you what I would tell anyone. The medium isn't necessarily what makes it effective or not. It's the media that makes it effective or not. So if you create something astounding and put it on radio, that would be effective. If you create something astounding and put it on Instagram, that will be effective. So this is kind of the Seth Godin approach. Seth Godin is a marketer, and he's really famous for just having great ideas about marketing. And one of them, I'm going to sum up his book, Purple Cow, which was, something must be remarkable for people to remark about it. That's what remarkable means, is it's worthy of being remarked about. So, do videos for Instagram that are worth being remarked about. Not throw something together in 5 minutes unless you're just brilliant. Generally speaking, it's probably going to take a lot longer than you think. You'll probably have to put in a lot more work than you would like to put in. But I think that if you can make something remarkable, it can be very effective. Very, very effective. With that said, for whatever reason, churches seem to be known for doing kind of so-so work. And what I'm thinking about right now is all the churches that I've seen on public access television, which, because they're not paying for the time, they just throw up anything. Don't get caught in that trap. Because you're not paying to put your video on Instagram, that doesn't mean you shouldn't make it as if it was a Hollywood feature. I mean, seriously, make it the best it can be. Make it remarkable. Make it buzzworthy. Make it funny. Make it entertaining. Make it something that people want to share. And then I think it will be effective. I think I'd always also put it on YouTube. I think I would share it on Facebook. I don't think that I would use it Instagram only. I think I would just go across the board with that. But if you can make it effective, I think it will be effective. So that's pretty much it. So today's show is a little on the short side, but I try and do these with 3 or more questions. So if you have your questions, don't hesitate to drop me a line, paul@trinitydigitalmedia.com. Leave a comment below, or head over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/contact. If you're a phone person, believe it or not, I have a toll-free number. It's 1-877-POD-ECHO, 1-877-763-3246, where you can give me a call. I don't answer that phone number, by the way, but leave a message and I'll play it in the show. That's perfectly fine. I've had someone do that in the past as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. The best way that you can say that you like it is to give a recommendation to someone else. And until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford with TrinityDigitalMedia.com. Go out and change eternity.